the permitting is the slowest process. It just really is. And it's frustrating for the client too. I think it's important to know expectations going into it, because people are excited and it's like, well, there's no updates for 5 months. I feel like I'm out of the loop, and so are we. I mean, that's just, how it goes.
Yeah, it really is. And we're, that's not just in Florida, but you can imagine in Florida, right? The permitting process was slow before all of this craziness happened. Now they have fewer employees, and they have, 10x the amount of permits coming in. And, talk about there's a normal bottleneck with permitting. And now we've just exacerbated the problem to such an extent that they literally can't keep up. And I don't know if the government has the same problem hiring people as the rest of the country does, but when you put a whole bunch of people on furlough and pay them to stay home, it's hard to have enough people to even functionally do the process of the permitting. And so
yeah, exactly.
That's the reality of the situation. But I think if everybody knows that going in, and you understand that that's just part of the process, it's going to take, it's going to take 8 to 12 months to build your house, not because of the construction, but just the whole process is going to take a little bit of time. Then I think everybody's going to understand.
Well, and it can work out in your favor too. I've had a couple of clients that are looking at selling property in the next 6 months, and they have some equity. They're waiting for the tenant to move out, stuff like that. And I will say, well, let's put new construction under contract that's going to be done in a year or whatever. That lease is going to be up in 6 months. You can move it, turn it, get it sold on the as a retail property, and then you can do a 1031 exchange. This happened for me, and I didn't even mean to. I put something under contract before the craziness of 2020, and then I luckily I sold a property and luckily had one under contract already to just slide right into my 1031 exchange. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's just setting expectations appropriately, and people understand that, hey, there is no updates, for the first 5 or 6 months. So get the process started and take advantage of it at today's prices, and then just kind of forget about it and work on your other investment opportunities and your other goals. And then by the time the house is built, you'll be coming into a very good position. And by the way, when we're talking about, just to use real numbers, because price points do go up over time as well as land, as we've already seen. So if we're talking in the, we'll call it a $300,000 or low threes for a purchase price right now, we're seeing those appraisals in that $350,000 to $400,000 range consistently, almost on all properties. And this is a pre-appraisal. So this is done on specs and plans based on today's market value. A year from now, we fully anticipate those to go up, right? I mean, we're talking about equity immediately that you come into right now. However, and I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't want to project anyone, but just what we've seen over the past year, I mean, you should be coming into significantly more equity in addition to having rents, achievable rents that are higher than we're seeing today. If this trend continues, which it is, because we're just getting more and more backed up as far as the supply goes from housing demand. More and more people are moving to the area beyond what builders can supply.
Yeah, people are not leaving Florida to go north. That's not what's happening. And I think it's important that we have this we've had for probably ever, we've had the normal migration of people who are retiring, and they go down to Florida because it's warm and there's, it's like the retirement place, right? That's cool. That's not what we're talking about here. That is still happening. What we're talking about is a massive net migration of people from places that are not friendly to either business or the people who live there, to a free state with really low with no tax, no state income tax, but generally low taxes to begin with. And as far as businesses go and jobs, if you want the ability to grow your business without the government all over you, you go to Texas, or you go to Florida, you go to Tennessee, you go to these places where the state is open for business.
I will add too. I would add too that the same, I've seen a lot of my personal clients as well as friends, family, a lot of companies are shutting down their offices and saying work from home. And I have several clients that live in California. They're not moving their business, but they're saying, well, if I don't have to live in California and pay top dollar for rent, why wouldn't I live somewhere that's more affordable, maybe more enjoyable, whatever? And if you're coming from California, most people love the California weather, right? So I've seen a lot of people, and not just business owners, but people who are now working from home with the flexibility to live anywhere. So no state income tax and warm weather, all the things.
I'll just talk ourselves into it right now, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we avoid the Tiger King, I think, right? I don't know where.
Isn't he up in? He's up in South Carolina with me, so I think we're good.
All right,
I think at least one of those guys lives just up the street in Myrtle Beach. So I'm not sure where Carol lives, but
oh my gosh, I love that you know where they live. I barely even know who these people are.
I wouldn't have paid much attention, but one of them is in Myrtle, which is literally an hour away. Yeah,
Ron's in the know.
We've actually thought about going up there and saying hi. You know?
The
worst best show ever.
Oh my
Horrible.
gosh.
It's like a train
They
wreck.
just keep running that thing on as long as they can, I guess. America loves the drama, right?